Chicago now. This is a Sikh shelter vibe. So Joel, do we need to move? Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Is it a warning or a watch? Probably a warning. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's not the good kind. Downstairs? Got it. All right.
think that'd be good. Yeah.
Awesome. We're on track.
Yeah.
We're on track.
Yeah.
So adaptable. Do you want to jump in?
I'll start.
Please.
Started playing gigs. I'm 43. Started playing gigs when I was 18. Jazz, undergrad degree, and master's. But I also was versatile and started playing pop gigs. But the jazz knowledge helped me. I was classical for a while, but the chords saved me as soon as I learned my chord knowledge. And then I've been gigging ever since. Pop music, jazz, have my own jazz group. Lucky enough to travel the country, do some songwriting and singing. So yes, very multi-genre based. And I teach at WashU for 18 years, which is wild. Teach private applied students some jazz combos, and it's my musical journey. In a nutshell, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, I'll go ahead. Hi, my name's Beth Goodfellow. I live in Los Angeles. I've been there for about 10 years now. Came down there from San Francisco, where I spent about 12 years in the Bay Area playing mostly jazz. Moved to LA to try to see, like, in addition to jazz, but also what else I could push my career into, kind of by, like, making it to the predominant music city on the West Coast, anyway. So it's been really educational, really, like, lots of dreams have come true in LA, and I'm really glad to have my career base there these days. I started out playing drums at age 11. I'm 42 now, so 31 years of my instrument. Started playing in like little traditional jazz combos in the town that I grew up in Central California. And then from there, I joined a military band out of high school. And I was in the Air Force for like one, sign-up cycle. And learned a lot about percussion that way. And then from there, studied classical percussion in college and met these wonderful ladies in Sisters in Jazz collegiate competition. So that was actually like one of the moments that pushed me into jazz to see if I could play more jazz drums. So yeah, but yeah, I've played on TV like Jimmy Kimmel and probably with some artists you've heard of, and also I maintain my own jazz trio in LA. And I'm about to head out on the road this year with a couple artists and putting on some Grammy-nominated recordings, etc. So it's been a journey, but yeah. That's my story.
Yeah.
We only talk about ourselves. It's true. Well, I grew up in Canada, and my parents were band teachers. My dad was really into jazz, and I played the trumpet when I started. So, how many of you had to get braces when you were a kid? Yeah. I had a lot of orthodontic work going on. My dad was like, I was bummed. I really loved the trumpet, but my dad was like, what I really needed in the band was a bass player. So he kind of conned me into it. I had no idea what I was getting into. It's very heavy. I have to lug it around. I've been lugging it around for almost 30 years now. So I came to the bass a little bit late. I was about 16. But I just really took to it because, in part, I had a lot of female role models when I was a kid. So there are a lot of jazz musicians that come from where I'm from in Vancouver. And that was really cool because it seemed normal to me. I know we're going to talk about this later, but I remember when we were in Sisters in Jazz 21 years ago, we were interviewed about, being a woman, being in a minority in the scene, and I kind of didn't know then what I, have experienced now. I had great female mentors when I was a kid, so I was super, super lucky. I had a lot of help from the local jazz musicians who played with me, so I started gigging when I was 16. I also had a very patient dad who would drive me to the gig and hang out in the car for the entire 4 hours. So my dad and my grandfather would just sit and read a paper, because I couldn't drive yet. So I went to Toronto for jazz schools, like our version of Berkeley, tiny, tiny little school in Toronto. I moved around a lot since then, so I toured the U.S., but I also lived in France for like a second. I moved to the U.S. for grad school, there. Married an American, so I ended up staying here with you all in the United States. My husband is a drummer, and so we still play together a lot. But I have taught every possible level as part of kind of our emphasizing career journey. In addition to performing, I'm a composer, and I like to say I'm a composer that happens to play bass because I think of that first. So I think of my identity as an artist. I'm really fortunate to have been performing a lot, but also teaching a ton. I know teaching comes from my parents, obviously. At college, just you can imagine, also worked for a nonprofit for a while. And now I am 40, about to turn 41, and have kind of done like a left turn with my balance, which is something we'll talk about today a little bit. But my husband and I both in the pandemic tried something new because it was sort of necessary in the pandemic, as you can all imagine, being a musician. And we really liked it, so we're trying something in finance, which is helping us find a nice balance between the performance competition lives and having a different kind of income situation and balancing out. So it's right now it's right for me, and I love talking about it because I'm like here to prove that it's possible that you can do that. And I know for students thinking about like what's next for them, I would love to chat with any of you and take some thoughts about it. But that's kind of what I do today. So I balance those two things and get to still travel and educate at festivals a lot. I also try to do like a composition retreat for myself once a year, which is, I can do that because I have this finance thing and like it's great. So that's where I'm at today. So it's a long-winded version of what that is. But yeah.
They have just a perfect English. I'm having a wide, heavy German accent. Yeah, my name is Paul. Nice to meet you all. Super nice to be here. Thank you very much, Joel. And you believe in that project. Thank you very much, Jefferson College, that they managed to have us here with all this. Human beings like you are here, you are the next generation. We follow you and then you follow us. But we take our experience and carry it to the next generation. Yeah? We are all doctors, even if the salary is not like a doctor. But it's really true. It's true. So I play saxophone since I'm 13. And I had my first concerts with my father together in the village, around my friends. It was very embarrassing. We play songs like Red lips you should kiss because they are here to kiss, right? So I grew up in a family where my father, he was actually working with metal stuff. But as a hobby, he always played music. And my mother, she loves always to listen to the music. So my father plays guitar, trombone, and he sings. So he took me always with my brother together. My brother plays piano, not as a main profession, but he loves to play it. And my mother listens to the music, so he needs to listen, of course. Fan base, we will talk about your fan base later. So I studied popular and jazz music. The city where I was studying was Mannheim, close to Darmstadt. And it was known for the pop music, but as well jazz. So it was bebop oriented, but also pop music. So I did that, and then afterwards I went to Switzerland because of the chocolate and the I'm there and I have a family. I have a little kid of 3.5 years. And I'm touring, so I teach rarely. I do workshops like Masterclass 2 to 3 times in a year, and like let's say 10 participants coming, and we work together on sound, on beatbox, on different stuff, jazz, improvisation. And yeah, so my main profession is a musician, being mama, and touring around. That's my main thing. And what we love to do with you today is to know what you already did in music, and also to tell you about our way what we did so far. And if you have questions, just jump into this because time is running. So time is running. 21 years ago, we met each other. They never changed. They look exactly the same. So feel the time to really.
Yeah. Well, and it proves that these relationships that you have now, like this is what carries you forward. You know, 21 years, here we are. Still playing together. Yeah. What questions do you have for us? We gave you all the information.
I'll shoot you one.
Yeah.
After 21 years since you guys have been together, how has your musicianship like kind of grown, and like being together again, how is that different for you guys?
Question. If I don't have like
You know, it's the experience. We played all very much. It doesn't matter which kind of music. You need to play. To be a musician, play, 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 play. Jam sessions, even if it's paid good, it's paid less. You need to play. Also something for free because it's like for children in hospital, for example. Play, 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 play. That's what every musician does. And sometimes you teach to make your income. Sometimes you are only on tour, and the experience what we have, I think that gives us the trust just to go on stage and play with each other.
yes. Yeah.
And everybody is a genius. Like her timing. If I have this, if I have this triangle, here is time. Right? This is sound. Sound is individual, and you can like it, but you don't have to like it. Melody, that's the same stuff. If somebody plays a melody you don't like, then it's like this. But yeah, this is the gold stuff. This is the treasure. You need to have timing. It's like, you know, even if you're not a musician. If you meet somebody and you are like, perfect timing, right? So time is important. Or the best is timing with X, cooking X, right?
Yeah.
So you need to have the feeling for this X. Yeah. So that's what I think everybody experiences time. Playing on time, playing behind the time, playing on top of the time, getting back on time. You know this exercise? This is a very good exercise to train your own time. But the question was, how does it feel? It's like we come together and we trust each other and we just play. For example, her time is so steady. Every fill she does, it's really nailed.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's the walking with. It's sitting in the right place. And Kara is flying like a bird. So it's a perfect match, I have to say. Yeah.
I want to jump in there because I feel like I also, what Nicole's talking about, I feel that for myself, but from all of you. Like the knowing your voice a little bit more clearly, but not just knowing who you are as a musician and artist, but like being more confident in it. Like the choices that I'm making are, you know, I feel like they're the right ones in the moment. I'm not gonna second guess them maybe as much as I did before.
Yeah. We talked about that last night. Like
Yeah.
what would our 20-something, what would we
Right.
tell our younger self again? Like, be more confident.
Yeah, absolutely. Or also that like if you're not in that moment, it's cool because you have so much time to develop. Like being a musician, you're never finished developing. You're never. If you're not okay with that, it's the wrong journey for you because you're constantly gonna evolve and grow and learn. But I feel that from all of us as a group. Like we're so settled and so yeah, we're just enjoying the music. And I'm probably more able to do that now than I was 20 years ago. Yeah.
May I ask how old is the average? How is the average of the age here?
18, 19, 20. Yeah.
Okay, so as soon, it's a little shock, but if you know it, you can go through it. It can be competitive. If you go to jam sessions, that's why a lot of female jazz musicians don't go to jam sessions because it's always like, goes around and who's the elbow, loudest and fastest, most played notes, 1 second. So please take this advice from us. Stay with you and say you all the time, it's okay how I play. It's totally okay how I play. In 10 years I play different. In 30 years I have a different voice. Joni Mitchell sounds totally different now with her voice, like 50, 60 years ago. Big Yellow Taxi. And now she's just this other voice. So it's really movement. So if you go to study music, even when you feel it's compacted, go over it and say, no, I'm fine. I'm taking my place. Yeah? That's important. You promise me you go through? Yeah? Put your right hand on. Anything you
Could you talk about, kind of in line with what you're talking about right now, some of the auditions maybe that you've had for different things and that process and how and what it looked like to put yourself in that place to begin with, but then dealing with the actual audition and some of that, because I know some of our students have different types of auditions coming up and things like that. Just how you deal with that type
How you
of
deal with audition nerves, or just?
Well, just like, and some of the, like, Beth, I know you were talking about some of the big groups you've had been able to tour with and how those things come about. Like, do you have to seek them out? Do they approach you because they've seen you play somewhere? And then I assume that for a lot of those things, they want to kind of see if it's a good fit. So there's maybe a feeling out process where you have to play a gig or a rehearsal or something, and how you kind of mentally deal with those situations, maybe.
I'm gonna lean on Beth if you're okay.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. A lot of, I live in LA, and so there's a lot of people around me who understand the business of music from being like second or third generation musicians or artists. And I don't have that in my family, so I've learned a lot of things just by jumping in with like a blindfold on and then like finding out. So it would have been interesting if someone had come to my college and like said some stuff about this when I was your age. So I work in jazz these days, but I also work in like indie rock, pop, Americana, folk, and I hesitate to call any gig big because every single musical situation that you get in is equally important as all the rest. But there was a moment in my career about 6 years ago where I got hired. I got an email from the artists themselves after being recommended by a couple of people that I had played with in LA. So it's a lot of these opportunities are word of mouth, which you always want to be playing your best and be nice and be professional, be on time, look good, have your music prepared ahead of time. I'm going to start going on a tangent, but one thing that I didn't learn in school was how to listen to an Americana or a folk or a rock record and make my own chart. I had to understand that the artist isn't going to give me a chart a lot of the time. And if I show up expecting them to teach me the song, well, that's backwards. So I have to come knowing the song and also knowing hopefully most of their back catalog, at least be able to recognize it, and maybe listen to a few interviews. Anyway, this is kind of things that I've learned, but the gigs come about because of your network, your relationships, your your friends that you make, that you want to play music with. And then if you're playing music with the people that you want to play with and you like that style, then you will be offered gigs that fit what you're best at. And so I feel like I've been very fortunate to have jobs that lean on my ability to improvise, even though they're not jazz gigs. I can listening and being a generous musician is really important to getting work. Knowing that the people that you're, as a drummer specifically, or a rhythm section player, you're up there to support whoever is standing downstage of you. You're there as a supporting role. So also a good place to go for resources. And every town there's a chapter. It's a little bit of a disconnected network of organizations, but it's still, you know, a good resource. I don't know if you guys have something
No,
to
I
add.
think I think it's amazing because what you're talking about is really profound preparation.
Yeah.
Like you're so prepared.
Yeah, you need to be prepared.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
And to the extent that like if you get called for the gig tomorrow, you know, the audition tomorrow, are you gonna be ready for it? So always being prepared. Isn't there funniest fun thing about that? It's like always be ready for the gig.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You get called, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun thing about it. But yeah, like so much preparation and knowing the songs well enough with your own chart that also when they make a change, you can be adaptable.
Oh yeah.
Because they might throw that at you too, right? In an audition. You're like, let's play your bridge differently.
Oh
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
I've actually never auditioned for any of these gigs either. It was all just through like a network, but there are auditions you can go on and
Yeah.
but
They'll
yeah.
see how like, flexible you are.
I just had some rehearsals for an upcoming tour where the artist was like, let's take this song that's in a major key and let's see what it sounds like in the minor key. And let's play it as a waltz instead of in 4. And you have to be creative and be on your toes and like have a positive attitude and like an open mind for, you know, like trying, like it's always going to be a little nerve-wracking, but like try not to lean into fear, but into curiosity in these high-pressure situations.
Yeah.
You also can prepare yourself mental-wise. Like, don't prepare if it's a playing situation and it's really important. And so start maybe really much more time before, like ahead, like maybe 1 month before you start to practice the situation that you really fall out of the program. You take your friend and say, please listen to me, and then you maybe have stones in front and you fall. Also not literally, I mean plane-wise. So you go through this procedure. Doesn't matter if you're playing an instrument, if you're just singing, or if you have a how do you say, an interview with a future boss or whatever. It's like mental-wise, if you start like weeks ahead, you're going through these different stages, and you are much more calm and much more on yourself. And if you are in this competition or if you are in this interview and you feel not comfortable, step 1 back. You know what I mean?
Give yourself
So if somebody asks you and you don't know it, and you feel, oh, no, actually I would know it, but what is the answer? Step back, breathe, and then again, think about it. That's also something which is good, what you can do.
I love that. I remind myself, I think this is going to sound weird, but I remind myself that these situations were not designed for me to be comfortable. You know? So like, if there's a panel of 4, you know, adjudicators at a table or a desk in front of me when I walk in and do this, like, that is not designed for me to feel at ease. It's not conducive to me being like the artist that I want to be. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I remind myself that, and then I can laugh a little bit about it, because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is not art. It's not an opportunity to make art, but I can do the best, you know, version of myself that I can be. And I think the breathing thing is super important. The first thing that we shut off when we're nervous is our ears. So when you're in an audition, especially if you're going to improvise in the audition, your nerves will overtake your listening right away. So you have to, I remind myself of that right away. And I tell my bands that when I'm conducting, I'm like, don't forget, open ears, right? You're going to get nervous and play too loud or whatever. So just being open to that, because a lot of times in jazz, somebody's going to throw changes, like substitutions at me. And if my ears are off in the audition, I'm not going to catch it, right? And that's like a test that will be thrown at you. So I just try to breathe through that and keep my ears open. It also takes the focus off of you when you're listening, which is excellent. It can get you out of your head a little bit. Yeah.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
Also seeking out a mentor. Like, it's like a real nuts and bolts way to start working as a musician if that is what you want to do. If you find yourself in a new city where you want to make a stab at things, you can go out, listen to people, find a musician that is doing the work that you think you would like to try, ask for a lesson, ask if they teach. and always be humble and gracious and never ask for a gig. I think that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Some people think differently, but I think always wait to be invited. Yeah,
I'm
and
the same.
yeah, and a strong mentor who can guide you through some mentors in my past that I took a lesson with helped me get an endorsement from a stick company just by saying, oh, you're heading out on the road, why don't I give my person a call at Innovative Percussion, and it's like people want to help, so
Yeah.
don't be shy.
That's true.
Anything else?
So you all write and
Yeah.
original music. Would you talk a little bit about the reality of marketing your own music in 2024, and then also if you'd tell us what's going on in St. Louis with your recording this weekend?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're so excited. We're recording tomorrow at Dan's studio, Midtown Sound House, which is near the Fox Theater. We're aiming for 4 songs, 1 original song each. But marketing in 2024 is wild, because 21 years ago, we're aging ourselves, but you didn't have to do the Instagram and everything. So yeah, you have to be everything to an extent until you get managers and other people in your career. But find joy in it, and then hopefully other people find joy in it if you're loving doing it, putting out the content. Yeah.
I have the worst answer. I don't really do it.
She doesn't do Instagram.
I don't do it at all. No, I am not. I'm like social media illiterate, basically. Like I can do basic stuff, but I write for my band and I write for me. And when I'm lucky enough to have these ladies play my music, that's great. But I'm terrible about it. So I I'm registered. All my stuff is registered, and I get like enough every quarter for maybe a pizza in residual. But my friends and I, we all joke, we'll be like, is it a coffee this quarter or pizza? Like, is it a slice or is it a whole pizza? So you are way more savvy, all of you, than I am. So I'm going to just stop right there.
One word. Video.
Okay.
I'm excited again about releasing music after feeling kind of discouraged for a few years because of how much I see people consuming is such a bad word, but they're consuming music like all the way through to the end of the track when there's a video synced to it. And it's super fun to be part of. I used to laugh at YouTubers like early on because I thought YouTube was, early on meaning what, like 2005 or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like kind of, I don't know, back then it was seen as sort of like an amateur thing, but now there's professional YouTubers in LA with budgets and a staff, and they'll call you in and they'll pay you a good rate, like Scary Pockets, for example. I did like a Scary Pockets session and they pay you great, and then they also list your channel and they help uplift you. So video, and for your own stuff, even if it's like something you shot on your cell phone, especially if it's something that you shot on your cell phone that's relatable and you put it with your song, it helps people be more interested to watch it.
That's great.
I mean, are you all will study music?
Many of them.
Many? Perfect. So, there are people who don't like social media, which I totally agree. And through social media, we get a visibility in a tempo which you don't get before only through YouTube. Except we have a musical product which is so stunning and so extraordinary and so new that it's going viral by this. I think I make normal music. I make from my heart music. I love to play my instrument. But if I wouldn't use the social media, maybe only 5% of CD selling or 5% of gigs coming in. So social media helps me to build a bigger network. For example, I got recently from Bogota, from Colombia, from the university there, from saxophone teacher, an offer to come over and to make a concert, masterclass, because I'm doing this slap technique on saxophone, yeah. I when I play, I just play maybe 10% of that, 90% is playing melodies. What I want to say, it's on social media, is to find a niche. To find, you don't have to make the clown on TikTok. I'm really bored by that. I'm also on TikTok. I'm not a clown. I'm literally once in a month I'm there and loading a video, and there are pretty cool stuff, like a Chinese doctor who tells where to push and it feels good. So there's also so it's always important. It's a work existing journaling. What is good for you when you don't spend too much time on the social media stuff. Yeah. Because I really get bored if I'm going to the bus and everybody's doing like this. You know, like this. Yeah. We came from this. And now we go back. Long time. You don't want to look like this, right? Straight. We're all like in concert. If you play concert, you can do this, but then it's straight again. So what I want to say, you are the youngsters. You are the next generation. And it's important for long-term being a musician that you feel the love to music. And it can be very competitive, and you need to step over this stuff. If you play for an interview, if you have to play a song, maybe it's not perfect. And it's good that it's not perfect. It's your style, you know? That's the moment. It doesn't have to be perfect. But if you find, for example, who plays trombone? Yeah. So, for example, you take the bow and you make. So then you put your video in high format. You put it here, or actually the back camera. You need to have good camera. Yeah, this is actually very good. It's really crazy. I changed my phone and suddenly it jumped up the number of watchers. Wow. It's amazing. It's really crazy. So if you want to invest, if you have friends who want to support you, like make crowdfunding, to get money you really have to be creative in this world. And so be creative the rest of your life. with breaks, of course, that you keeping calm and being a normal human being, don't talk and hanging around with your hoodie and eating pizza or whatever all the time. So you need this time, because social media can really take you over, but the real life is here. The real life is happening here. If I have a little son, so real life is happening in my case every evening or every day actually, right? I'm hungry! This is the real life. But if you want to do really active on social media, it can help you to support your visibility. It's nice to see music videos, but being honest, you need to find your character, you need to find your specialty. And if I say oh, you can make this video and you will have much more followers than if you do your duo music video there. It's really crazy. So, and you use this fact that you get more followers, just your number of followers will increase, and then you put again a music video. And then suddenly much more people see your music. And then the next 10 videos are again about your So that's the way. And being honest, don't get mad with it. Just doing it natural and thinking always about, hey, this is not real life. I have my friends. So if you have people writing, I have that a lot, like sexism. Because I'm showing really close what I'm doing with my mouth here. People, especially men, take this really in a direction which I don't really have it, so I delete it. Yeah. I even don't respond. Sometimes I respond, not to these people, but I'm not able to respond. I mean, her account, I watched it. She said, Nicole, do you do that on Instagram? And I think on October last year, she started, her dog was sitting on her lap. It doesn't have to do anything with her piano skills. But people love dogs, people love Kara. She's playing amazing. She has a wonderful touch to play, and suddenly, from, I don't know, from 3,000, it gained up to 140, whatever thousand. And now she get offers, and that's what I mean. Now she get offers to do stuff, right? And that's the most important. Now she will record the new stuff, so she has much more visitors for her music. So she has a brand. She develops a brand, right? So she's not touchable, but she cannot also answer 147. You need a person to do that. So being relaxed, it's very important in this business because you want to be a creative person. The real show starts real life, and that's what we are on musicians. We don't play concerts on social media. We play concerts on jazz clubs. We have to handle with festival organizers. We have to handle with bad food in front of the gig. You know, that's the stuff. That's the real stuff. So only spend a little time on social media to grow your fan base. But what was the original question?
Basically marketing.
Music marketing, yeah.
Music marketing.
Yeah, that's all in it. Yeah. What about physical media? You said you sell some CDs. What about mine?
Yeah. So I don't know how it is in yours. I brought CDs with me. Sorry. I don't know why.
We'll sell them at the gig.
I hope I took it. Otherwise I have to. I think I took it, yeah. Yes, in Europe, I have to say clearly, yes, CD are working. Because the jazz age, the people who listen to jazz, sorry, they are 50 up. And this is young, actually they are more 60 up. So you are the next generation. Bring your friends who are maybe 18, 19, 20, 70, 60. Bring them for free to your concerts. Then they go to another concert, then they have to pay maybe $20 or $50. Music has a value. Music costs money. This is very important, and that's why it's for us a problem to be on Spotify, because Spotify pays us only, that's new, when you have 1,000 streams above. But I'm not really a Spotifyer, so I don't reach that. So I don't.
Tornado warning.
So that's bad. Better go on Apple Music, they pay you. But I mean, it's to be a musician means you have to be creative to survive. But being a musician means it's a feeling. Jazz is a feeling. You cannot describe it. It's a feeling to be a musician. It's a lifetime thing. If you want to have safety, in every moment it's not the right job. Except you are on a school. If you're a touring musician and you get hired for master classes, you are more in, okay, this is this month. What's the next month? You know, you have to be really flexible in your private situation. But I tell you, it's the most nice thing. I was playing in Indonesia, in Gunung as first women, and I was playing in New Zealand, Waiheke International Jazz Festival. New Zealand is the most faraway place from Germany, where you can fly. So these are opportunities. I saw people, I saw human beings, I saw musicians, I saw kids, I saw so many people, and it gave me above all inspiration. And yes, I'm gonna do that. It's not a problem to do a side job. It's not a problem, but I want to say what we're doing it since 21 years because we love it.
Yeah.
And we all went through this phase that especially teachers were treating us very strange and touchy. Especially the women will hopefully not experience this, but it's not cool. Respect, being aware of your language, and I wish you all success.